Why most intelligent people are often mentally not well. They might have been under a lot of pressure since they were young, or they didn't get to experience a typical childhood like most of their peers. Since they showed early signs of intelligence, they were placed in special classes, or with older kids. I'm talking about the type of kid who goes to Harvard at age 12 or something like that. Yes, they may be brilliant, but think of how alienating and lonely that experience must be. It would be incredibly difficult to grow and mature socially when you're going to school with people a decade older than you. That can mess with a kid's mental health. There's a concept in chemistry called cis-trans isomerism. It's when a chemical can have different arrangements of molecules with the same formula, kind of like that you have two hands that both have 4 fingers and a thumb, but are arranged differently. I've known some seriously smart people who had a brother or sister who was developmentally disabled. My theory has been whatever genes or DNA it takes to be really smart are say one way, and the disability is on there the other way. Just like the cis-trans isomers. Obviously not scientific, but that's my opinion. I suspect it's because they overthink everything. I could invite people over. But what would we do? I'll have to plan something. Organize something. Maybe go shopping. That's a lot of work. I need a nap just thinking about it. I could go talk to that girl. But what do I say after hello? I honestly have no idea. I'll just sit here with my drink. I'd like to make a move, but she'd probably never want to hang out again ... like the others. It takes my wife so long and so much research to pick a restaurant that they're all closed by the time she chooses. There are many different types of intelligence. The stereotypical one is associated with neurodivergence. Many neurodivergent people don't feel like they fit in because society isn't really designed to accommodate their differences, so they don't succeed at the same rate as their peers. Neurodivergent people, whether they have a diagnosis or not, are very aware of their limitations. They often don't get the opportunity to display their strengths because the stereotype for success is on extrovert behaviors. I think this is changing, but it's agonizingly slow. Some of the smartest people I've known or worked with were total savants, geniuses in their field, with horrible personalities. One of the nicest people I've ever met is one of the wealthiest people I know. But he's grounded and helps out teaching at the local high and middle schools when asked. He doesn't need to work, but his ability to keep students' attention and even crazy earn their respect is phenomenal. He doesn't claim to know everything, but he knows a lot. He practically has a library at home, which inspired me to start reading more too. Their thing is because you're just an insignificant speck of dust on an insignificant backwater planet revolving around a yellow dwarf, which is an even more insignificant speck of dust in a normal galaxy. Plus, smart people have to dumb themselves down a lot to be able to fit into a world that may not even accept them. And they also understand how little of everything they truly understand. Thinking about the environment that makes someone intelligent can give a lot of answers. Gifted or advanced kids were often pushed hard by their parents. Once you're identified as intelligent, society puts a lot of expectations on you. Lots of intelligent people respond by being perfectionists who are afraid of failure and complete nervous wrecks. That compounds over time, and because they're smart and functioning at a high level, they either never get help or even know how to identify what's wrong with them when they do. I'm convinced it has something to do with the praise a lot of them receive throughout their life. People tell them how smart they are and high expectations are put on them. The high praise can really get to their heads and make them feel like they are guaranteed success in life. When life gets hard, they don't know how to deal with it, because they are so used to everything coming easy to them. I've seen the same situation happen to about 5 highly intelligent people I had friendships with over the years. High IQ is not associated with high rates of mental illness. It's typically associated with lower rates. https substacks calm image fetch f auto q auto good fl progressive st https 3a to f to public to images to fea 5e737a f1 for o to f9 EA7FA01A5 for 9F3A to 1958X1 for 21. TNG Q Auto Good FL Progressive State HTTPS 3A to F to public to images to FIA 5E737A F1 for O to F9 EA7FA01A5 for 9F3A to 1958 zone for 21. PNG From what I've noticed, intelligent people have control over much of their life and know what would be the ideal scenario. So most things go according to plan. It's when things don't go according to plan that intelligent people have trouble with. Also because intelligent people are more aware. There are more ways life could stray from the ideal scenario. People that are less intelligent are used to living a life they don't fully understand, and that is out of their control. So they have come to accept it. Depends on how one is defining not well. If you're saying true mental illness, I would probably need to see some papers for that correlation. Branching out, it could be many topics, such as frustration when their work isn't adopted for good or bad reason, struggles of having careers with higher levels of stress and responsibility, etc. A person in a lower level position may be content with their position even if it has no advancement opportunity, but also none of the stress, because they have to live in a world full of morons. Think about it. Think about the dumbest person you know. Think about how exhausting they are to deal with. Now imagine someone as much more intelligent than you as you are more intelligent than that person. Think about how many more people who are stupid by comparison to themselves they have to deal with than you. This is the life of an intelligent people. We are all fucking idiots that they have to deal with constantly to them. I have depression, technically dysthymia, and I've always believed it or not. I hate saying this, being considered extremely intelligent since I was a toddler. My depressive ideations never focus on other people's intelligence levels, but almost always about my own personal faults, which I feel intensely. The most disheartening thing that bothers me on a consistent basis is how I feel society as a whole is easily persuaded of things that just don't stand up to reason. I disagree with the premise of the question and the top comment. Intelligent people are mentally unwell at a similar rate as the general population is. I would argue that genius, a quality of creating or seeing things that nobody else can see, often does cause people to be mentally unwell. This is because their work or ideas are not understood nor appreciated. In my experience, intelligent people do not always possess the quality we call genius. The subconscious had to rely on myths and half-truths to give man the motivation and power to make it through this chaotic, unpredictable world. When you become too intelligent, or as I like to say, you've seen through the game, you can't rely on any of these old world illusions anymore. You literally have to face the universe and all its wonder and horror. Most of the time you have to do this alone, which is another stressor on the self. It's exhausting to be surrounded by idiots and live in a society that rewards idiots and narcissists. The wrong people are getting rich, self-absorbed creators, celebrities, fake doctors' personalities, while those that do good are exploited teachers, social workers, health care. With intelligence you can see through the fog, and it's depressing, especially when you realize how others en masse think. These answers know nothing. We don't think most people are stupid. That's not why we're not mentally well. I would say it's either very high expectations from friends and family, or childhood bullying because of being different, we're misunderstood. Childhood abuse can cause a lot of messed up problems. I skipped a grade. I was bullied as a child because of my intelligence. I am mentally unwell. Life is boring when you know the reasoning behind everything. When you're less intelligent, everything is amazing, like magic. Also, less intelligent individuals often live within the confines of their own bubble, focus solely on their immediate surroundings. In contrast, intelligent people are more likely to think about and concern themselves with matters beyond their immediate environment. They have a different point of view, and they think outside the box. I swear to you that if you discuss with them about a wrong idea, he will not let you go unless your head is full of ideas and questions that will hurt your head. That's why most of them have dark circles under their eyes, Not for studying at night. No, but for their excessive thinking before bedtime and several things. I don't think this is the case at all. For instance, Einstein was a jokester in private. Feynman, who is considered pretty smart, has been quite funny and so on. Sure, many geniuses suffer about the work on their opus, but I would doubt if this is the case for most intelligent people. Aristotle claimed a connection between melancholia and ingenuity. It's kind of a cultural tradition. Most gifted people who were placed appropriately in school and didn't face bullying don't have any mental illnesses. However, bullying, lack of acceleration, and other school issues tend to cause mental health issues. With proper training of teachers, not isolating kids like they did during COVID, and a stop to bullying, most kids would be okay coming out of school gifted, special ed. Most is a stretch. The incidence of mental illness in high-intelligence individuals is higher than the global average. That doesn't mean most smart folks have issues. I suspect it has to do with their neurology. Whatever conditions allowed them to be more intelligent might have also resulted in increased or abnormal activity in other parts of the brain. A mistake, if you will. Because they have to deal with unintelligent people. And they have to watch unintelligent people fare better than them at things they feel like they deserve. Tesla died miserable and broke, lamenting society's failure to appreciate his intelligence. But had he managed his hubris and approached people as a populist, he would have died like Edison. Popular, rich, and remembered well.